Hello friends, in this video we will be talking about the concept of scope resolution operator in C++. First of all, we try to understand that what is the need of scope resolution operator. So what I have done, I have created one program. In that program I have declared one global variable named as CNT. Now you know that the global variable is capable enough to handle within the main and outside the main, means it can be accessible within the main and it can also be accessible outside of the main function. So it is in global scope. Now I have mentioned here that global scope is considered to be, or it is named as block 1. Okay. Now in main function I am declaring another variable of the same name, which is CNT, and the value of that variable is 100. So now this CNT variable is the local variable of main function. Again I repeat, this CNT variable is local variable of the main function. So one global variable exists, so that in memory we have a value 1000 with a memory block, and another memory block is also created with value 100. This is your global variable, this is your local variable, but this is local to main function. So when I am trying to print the value of CNT, now there exists two CNT in the memory. You can see there are two CNT variable exist, but since the local scope's priority is higher with compared to global scope, local scope is having higher priority, so that the value of CNT which is being printed will be local CNT's value. So here 100 will be printed on the screen. Now I am creating another block. Now this is possible. So we have created another block. By starting braces and closing braces, we can able to create a block. Now in that particular block I am creating another variable of the same name CNT, and I am assigning 10 to that particular CNT variable. So in the memory the third variable named as CNT and with value 10 is now exist. What is the scope of this CNT? It is within this bracket. Outside this bracket, this variable cannot be accessible. Now again I am trying to print the value of CNT. Now since there are three CNT exist, one global CNT, one local to block 2, another local to block 3. And since right now you are in block 3 and the priority of local variable is higher than the global variable, here CNT will be printed and the value of that CNT will be local CNT variable of block 3, which is 10. Now I am creating another block within that. So now this is block number 4. It starts, the scope of that block starts from here and it ends at here. So integer CNT equals to 1. The fourth variable of the same name CNT exists now. So in memory there will be one block allocated and the value of that particular block will be 1. Now this 1 is local variable named as CNT to block 4. So when I am trying to print the value of CNT, there are 4 CNT exist. One global, local to block 2, local to block 3, local to block 4. Now right now we are in block 4. So the priority of local CNT of block 4 is the highest, so that when you are trying to print the CNT, it will print the value of that CNT which is local to block 4. So output is 1. So this is how your program executes. But suppose I want to access global variable CNT. Suppose I want to access this global variable CNT in block 4. So do we have any mechanism? No, we cannot have. If I write CNT, it will by default considered local variable CNT of block 4. Suppose I will write CNT here. So by default it considers local variable. So we don't have any such mechanism to access global variable declared of the same name which can be accessible within the local scope. So this is our problem. Okay. So how to solve this problem? So in C++, to solve the problem of local scope, we have the concept of scope resolution operator. There are two different uses of it. The first use is to uncover variable which is hidden due to problem of scope. If we try to understand this line by this example, we can say that the global variable CNT is hidden. Why? Because the local scope is having higher priority, this local scope is having higher priority, so that this variable which is exist but it is hidden due to the scope of the local variable. So to uncover that, to access that global variable, we can use scope resolution operator. Second use of scope resolution operator is there with the class and object. So we know that member function of a class can be defined within the class. But if we want to define member function of a class outside the scope of class, we can able to use scope resolution operator. We will see that particular thing in the same video. Syntax is also given. If I want to access global variable, I need to write scope resolution operator, which is 2 times colon and then the variable name, global variable name. So by default, whenever I write this, it directly refers the global variable. We try to understand this by example. So the same example we are taking here. So I have declared a global variable CNT. So in memory there is only one CNT exist. So when I print cout CNT, so definitely only one CNT exists. So it will not be confused and it will print 1000 on the screen. But now I am declaring another CNT. The value of that is 100 and I am printing the value of CNT. Now system is confused. Why? Because we have two CNT. One is global, one is local to main. But we know that the scope of local variable is always higher. So when I am trying to print CNT, it will print 100 on the screen. So what if I want to access this global variable CNT here? So for that, what I need to do, I need to write the same statement. I can use scope resolution operator. Let's take this example. Now in the same program I am creating another block. In that block I am creating another variable named as CNT with value 10. So when I print CNT, it will definitely prints a local variable CNT's value. So it will print 10 on the screen. But now if I want to access this global variable in local scope or local block, I need to write scope resolution and the variable name. So once I write this, it directly refers a global variable CNT. So answer will be 1000. Again, I am creating another block. In that another CNT is being created which is local to block number 4. But if I only write CNT, that CNT will print block number 4's CNT on the screen, means it will print 1 on the screen. But again I write scope resolution CNT, so it directly refers this global variable and 1000 will be printed on the screen. So the problem of hidden variable global or hidden or global variable that can be solved by using the concept of scope resolution. So whenever we need to use or we want to access global variable in local scope, what we can do? We can use scope resolution operator and then name of the variable. So directly it can able to access that particular global variable. Now there is a constraint. When you use a scope resolution operator with variable, there is a constraint, and that constraint is scope resolution operator can only be used with global variable. So we try to understand this statement. Here I have declared a main function and I have not declared any global variable here. So when I am trying to print cout CNT, so here system will be searching for a variable CNT, but since we don't have any CNT, it will be prompting an error that CNT does not exist. Now I am creating local variable CNT and then I am printing, then definitely local CNT exists, so it will print 100. I am creating another block, but here when I write this statement cout scope resolution CNT, it will prompt an error because scope resolution CNT when we write, it directly refers global variable, but here we don't have any global variable declared which is named as CNT, so that this statement generates an error. So that the constraint is scope resolution operator can only be used to access global variables. So whenever you are going to use scope resolution operator, you need to confirm that there is a global variable declared in your program. Now second use of scope resolution operator is to define a member function outside of the class. So syntax is return type, then we need to write the class name, then we need to use a scope resolution operator, then the function name and argument. We try to understand this by one example. So I have declared a class named as test, I have declared access specifier public, and I have declared two data members integer a and b. After that I am declaring one member function named as get data, but this member function I am defining. So return type, function name, argument is not there, and I am specifying the body of this member function. So I am defining this member function inside the class, so there is no need to declare it separately. Now I am declaring a member function named as put data. I am declaring, I am not defining. You can see return type, function name, argument and semicolon. This is just the declaration part. I have not defined this member function. And then after I am closing the class definition, since I have write the braces and semicolon, this is the closing of class definition. But I have not defined this member function inside the class definition. So I need to define it outside the class. So as per the syntax, what I need to do? I need to first write the return type is void. Then I need to write the class name. So here the class name is test. So I will be writing test, scope resolution, and the name of the member function, is put data, and this is the member function's body. So here this test specifies that this put data function belongs to test class. So in this manner we can able to define a member function which is not defined within the class outside the class. So this is another use of scope resolution operator. Now from this topic, what questions can be asked? So this is the list of some questions, like in exam it can be asked like explain scope resolution operator, what are the different uses of scope resolution operator, which is to be explained with an example. Then they can able to ask you to justify the statement, and list of questions are there. Again it may possible that examiner can able to give some snippet like this and you are asked to give the output, or snippet is given and you are asked to find the error if any in the code. So if error is there, you are supposed to correct it and modified code is to be written. So this type of questions can be asked from this topic. Thank you for watching video. If you have any doubt, you can ask me or you can write me on this email address shikshansetu@gmail.com. If you like this, please click the like button and subscribe the channel. Thank you.